What if the very impulses you've been taught to question, suppress, or label as too much or not spiritual enough are actually your most direct, loving connection to your inner self and to the greater wisdom of Framework 2? What if trusting those spontaneous feelings, desires, and urges is not a detour from psychic development or spiritual growth, but the clearest, most natural path to it? Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the Seth Center podcast. I'm your host, David Selak, CEO of the Seth Center. It's such a joy to be with you today. In this episode, we're exploring Seth's liberating and practical teachings on impulses, drawn from session 872 of The Individual and the Nature of Mass Events. We'll look at why so many of us have been conditioned to distrust our own inner promptings, how impulses serve as the living bridge between our physical and non-physical selves, and why trusting them is the key that unlocks self-unity, creative fulfillment, psychic abilities, and conscious reality creation. We'll hear Seth's words, and I'll guide you through a beautiful, in-the-moment integration practice you can begin using today. By the end of our time together, I hope you'll feel seen, empowered, and ready to celebrate the self you are right now. Let's dive in. Many of us grew up in a world that taught us to be suspicious of our spontaneous feelings. We learned that certain impulses were selfish, dangerous, disruptive, or simply not spiritual. So we developed the habit of overriding our inner voice, pushing aside the urge to rest, to create, to speak kindly, to move, or to simply pause and feel. Over time, this creates a painful inner division. We start searching for some far-off, idealized spiritual self while distrusting the familiar, ever-changing self we live with every day. Seth gently but powerfully corrects this. He reminds us that the inner self is not remote. It speaks through our impulses. These impulses carry built-in spiritual and biological impetus toward our most ideal development. They arise from Framework 2, the spacious, supportive inner reality, and they are part of the great web of communication that connects all species. Impulses are inherently good. They naturally lead us toward balanced living. Sometimes activity, sometimes quiet contemplation. They guide us to creative fulfillment, the expansion of consciousness, psychic excursions, and the conscious knowledge and manipulation of our dreams. When we trust them, psychic wisdom and spiritual knowledge arise naturally as the result of self-unity. The problem isn't that we lack methods for astral projection, psychic advancement, or spiritual understanding. The real hindrance is the negative belief that our impulses themselves are untrustworthy. When we begin to trust ourselves again, we start by acknowledging our impulses without immediate judgment. We try them on for size. We let them have some freedom while still honoring our current beliefs and never following any urge that would harm another. Behind many troublesome impulses, Seth says, we almost always find an inhibited positive desire, an earlier impulse toward love, understanding, or creative expression that we were afraid to follow in small, safe steps. By tracing back to that original impulse with curiosity and compassion, we begin to heal the division inside us. Seth puts it beautifully. Here are his words from session 872 of The Individual and the Nature of Mass Events. When you begin trusting yourselves, you start by taking it for granted that, to some extent at least, you have not trusted yourself or your impulses in the past. You have thought that impulses were dangerous, disruptive, or even evil. So as you begin to learn self-trust, you acknowledge your impulses, you try them on for size, you see where they lead you by allowing them some freedom. Your own impulses naturally lead you to seek creative fulfillment, the expansion of your consciousness, psychic excursions, and the conscious knowledge and manipulation of your dreams. What a compassionate and empowering message. Seth is telling us that the spiritual self exists within the physical self. It communicates through our smallest gestures and ideals. Children learn to walk by trusting their impulses. We can find ourselves again the same way by trusting the self we are now. This teaching dissolves the false split between a good inner self and a flawed physical self. It invites us to celebrate our beings and to see our impulses as the natural connectors between the physical and the non-physical. To help you live this truth immediately and experientially, we have a simple but powerful integration practice called Follow Your Impulses. This is designed to be done in the flow of your daily life, not as a separate chore, but as a living moment-to-moment relationship with your inner guidance. Here is the practice in full. Begin by setting a clear daily intention. I will notice my impulses. This simple decision and declaration activates your natural awareness. Here's how to work with your impulses as you move through your day. Acknowledge without judgment. Notice any arising feelings, emotions, desires, or small urges, whether to stretch, write a note, call a friend, rest, create, or simply pause. Do not dismiss them. Simply notice. Trace the source. If a troublesome impulse appears, such as frustration or anger, sit with it curiously for a moment. Ask, what positive inhibited desire lies beneath this? What small step toward love, understanding, or fulfillment was I afraid to take? Allow insights to emerge naturally. Take a small, safe step. Choose one benign impulse each day and follow it with freedom, perhaps journaling a spontaneous thought, moving your body as it calls, or expressing a kind word. Observe where it leads without forcing outcomes. Note briefly, what opened? What felt like self-unity? Strengthen the connection in sleep. Before bed, thank your impulses for their guidance during the day. Invite dreams that expand your receptivity, affirming that your impulses connect you to Framework 2 and the greater web of all that is. By practicing in the flow of daily life, you celebrate your being, dissolve inner divisions, and allow psychic wisdom and spiritual knowledge to arise naturally through self-trust. I invite you to begin with the simple intention right now. Even as you listen, I will notice my impulses. Then watch what arises in the hours and days ahead with friendly curiosity. You don't have to follow every impulse perfectly. You simply begin to build a new relationship of trust with the self you are. Before we close, I want to share some beautiful resources available at sethcenter.com to support you in living this teaching more deeply. If you'd like to read the full session we drew from today, The Individual and the Nature of Mass Events is available on our site. It's one of Seth's most important books on how individual beliefs and impulses shape both personal and mass events. For those who want to experience Jane channeling Seth in the original class sessions, we offer the Seth Original Audio Subscription. You'll receive one newly remastered class session each month, along with updated transcripts for deeper study. New audio is released on the first Wednesday of every month. It's the clearest, most affordable way to hear how Seth and Jane led their classes and delivered the foundational material. Start today and receive instant access to the current session. Another wonderful daily practice is our Seth Says series. Let the daily Seth quote become your cherished morning ritual, a moment of clarity and empowerment before the day begins. You can sign up easily on our website. Finally, if you're ready to immerse yourself in a supportive, lively community of fellow Seth explorers, I warmly invite you to join the Seth Explore Society. Members enjoy online classes, events, community activities, discussions, exercises, and meditations led by dedicated teachers. It's a rich and welcoming space to apply the Seth material in daily life. You can cancel anytime. Join us at sethcenter.com. My friends, the message today is both simple and profound. You are already connected. Your impulses are not obstacles. They are your inner self reaching out to you in the most intimate, practical way. When you begin to trust them, you dissolve unnecessary divisions, celebrate the self you are now, and open naturally to psychic wisdom, creative fulfillment, and the expansion of consciousness. Start today with the simple intention, I will notice my impulses. Watch what happens with kindness and curiosity. Small steps of trust lead to profound transformation. I'd love to hear how this practice lands for you. Share your experiences in the comments below this video, in our Seth Explore Society community, or tag us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn at Seth Center. Your stories inspire all of us. Thank you for listening, for your openness, and for the light you bring to the world, simply by being willing to trust yourself more. This is David Selak for the Seth Center podcast. Until next time, remember, you create your own reality, and your impulses are here to help you do it joyfully.